The law firm DiCello Levitt filed suit against WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO Group Holdings on behalf of 5 survivors of the Ring Boy scandal. The lawsuit alleges that WWE was aware of and did nothing to stop ring announcer and ring crew chief Melvin Phillips Jr. sexual abuse of underage boys on the ring crew. It states that Phillips targeted children from broken homes and that assaults occurred not only at wrestling events, but also in hotel rooms and other locations where Phillips would have the boys shuttled. The allegations became public in 1992 and were covered on shows such as A Current Affair and Donahue. The lawsuit also states that the 5 survivors named John Does 1 through 5 in the suit only recently learned of the depth of knowledge the McMahons and WWE had about their abuse as a result of new insights gained from the lawsuit Janelle Grant filed in January. Greg Gutzler, a partner at DiCello Levitt, who is leading the litigation, said the following: "Thanks to the bravery of our clients, we finally have a chance to hold accountable those who allowed and enabled the open, rampant sexual abuse of these young boys." Mark DiCello had this to say: "The WWE and McMahons had a responsibility to those underage boys, and they failed them in the worst way possible. We will vigorously fight to uncover the truth about the systemic, insidious, and life-altering abuse. We commend our clients for their bravery in coming forward and promise to relentlessly seek justice for them." Professor Marcy Hamilton, founder of CEO of Child USA, a leading nonprofit think tank fighting to preserve and strengthen children's rights, said the following: "1/3 of child sex abuse victims never come forward because the shame, humiliation, trauma, and physical and psychological injuries silence them. Sadly, we know that 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 13 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. Child USA is fighting child sex abuse and trafficking, and one of the greatest tools in our arsenal is to push for statute of limitations reform so perpetrators and their enabling institutions can be held accountable in cases of delayed disclosure. Due to the Maryland window we fought for, these brave survivors can seek justice." Ann Callis, the attorney for Janelle Grant, released a statement on the news saying, "The allegations in the Ring Boys lawsuit against WWE are deeply troubling. Vince McMahon made sexual abuse and human trafficking a hallmark of WWE's culture for decades. Survivors like Janelle Grant and other former WWE employees deserve their day in court. All former WWE employees who experience sexual abuse and harassment should be allowed to tell the truth by having their non-disclosure agreements waived. Ms. Grant stands by all WWE survivors and believes that Mr. McMahon, WWE, and all involved parties must be held accountable." Additionally, the attorney of Vince McMahon has responded to the new lawsuit filed on Wednesday. McMahon's attorney, Jessica Rosenberg, released a statement to Brandon Thurston denying the allegations filed by 5 survivors of the Ring Boy scandal, claiming negligence on their behalf for doing nothing to stop sexual abuse of underage boys from Mel Phillips, who was both an announcer and head of the ring crew in the 1980s. The statement reads, "More than 30 years ago, the columnist Phil Mushnick tried to make headlines with these same false claims. Those allegations were never proven and ultimately became the subject of defamation lawsuit against Mr. Mushnick. The negligence claims against Mr. McMahon that were asserted today rely on these same absurd, defamatory, and utterly meritless statements by Mr. Mushnick. We will vigorously defend Mr. McMahon and are confident the court will find these claims are untrue and unfounded." The Ring Boy scandal first became public in 1992. Phillips, Terry Garvin, and Pat Patterson were all fired from WWE due to the allegations, though Patterson was eventually hired back and remained part of the company until he died in 2020. As a reminder, the lawsuit with Janelle Grant that she filed in January accusing Vince McMahon of sexual abuse and trafficking has been put currently on pause as the Justice Department continues its investigation against Vince McMahon. Moving on to our next story, TKO is bringing on several new properties already within the Endeavor family into their fold. Announced this morning, the parent company of WWE and UFC is acquiring Professional Bull Riders, PBR, On Location, and IMG from Endeavor in an all-stock deal valued at $3.25 billion. Ari Emanuel is the CEO of both Endeavor and TKO. The impetus of the transaction is to lead up to Endeavor wanting to go private in a proposed transaction with private equity firm Silver Lake. As a result, they are looking to shed some of their assets prior to that happening. While PBR doesn't have a logical tie-in with either WWE or UFC, both On Location and IMG do. Former is a premium event company that provides VIP experiences for more than 1,200 sporting events, including for the Super Bowl and NCAA Final Four. TKO executive Mark Shapiro has spoken publicly in the past about wanting to increase those opportunities for both WWE and UFC, who both currently use On Location. IMG has many different business tentacles as they both distribute and produce sports content, handle media rights and brand partnerships, and offer digital services and event management. Clients include the NFL and NHL. Both WWE and UFC are listed under their current portfolio of clients. Now moving on to some more news. MJF will do battle with either Adam Cole or Roderick Strong at the November 23rd AEW Full Gear pay-per-view. The match for the pay-per-view was set up during a segment on Wednesday's AEW Dynamite where Adam Cole reunited with the Undisputed Kingdom in the ring. Adam Cole and Roderick Strong agreed that they both want to get their hands on MJF, but MJF interrupted with a promo on the video wall. MJF stated in his promo that he is not going to appear on an AEW show until Full Gear, but that between Cole and Strong, the first to win 3 matches will get to face the former AEW World Champion at Full Gear. Adam Cole will make his in-ring return on next week's Fright Night Dynamite for his first match in over a year after suffering an ankle injury at Dynamite Grand Slam last September. Chris Jericho has scored the nueve. Jericho defeated Mark Briscoe in a ladder match to win the Ring of Honor World Championship for a second time, earning his 9th World Championship win. Mark hit the J Driller and went to climb the ladder, but Big Bill ran in through the crowd and laid out Briscoe with a chokeslam off the ladder through tables on the outside. Bill then placed Jericho on his shoulders and climbed the ladder, allowing Jericho to grab the title for the win. After the match, Tomohiro Ishii appeared with Rocky Romero. Announcers brought up that it was Jericho and the Learning Tree who took out Ishii weeks ago. Briscoe had held the title for 202 days, winning it back at Supercard of Honor on April 5th, where he defeated Eddie Kingston. Despite his long tenure with Ring of Honor, it was his first world title win. Alex Shelley is thanking fans for their support. In a social media post on Wednesday, Alex Shelley thanked fans and family for their support throughout the years. He and Chris Sabin made their debut as the Motor City Machine Guns on last Friday's SmackDown.
I've kind of shied away from posting for a little bit because it's been a busy week, and I knew I had to make this video. It's something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to express gratitude to everybody who has supported me throughout not just my pro wrestling career, but my life, and that's friends, and that's co-workers, and that's family. And you don't necessarily have to be a blood relative to be family, but we did it. And what I was able to accomplish last Friday night on SmackDown was a dream come true. I can now say that I'm not just a physical therapy clinician. I'm not just a strength and conditioning coach. I'm not just a friend or a brother or a punk rocker or an artist, but now I'm a WWE superstar. And to be able to verbalize that has a very, very deep and profound sense of power here. And again, I couldn't have done it without the support of so many people, so many different points in my life. I think that whether you believe in the creator or fate or the universe, I have to be one of the most blessed people out there to have come this far and to be able to accomplish that goal. And now the hard work begins. But again, thank you so much. I truly mean that, and I couldn't have done it without you. Thanks for pushing me along and picking me up when I was going to fall and encouraging me and never letting me give up. And gosh, here we go.
Zaria has arrived in NXT. The end of this week's show saw Fatal Influence spin the wheel ahead of Halloween Havoc on Sunday, where one member will challenge Kalani Jordan for the Women's North American title. The wheel landed on Spinner's Choice. As Fallon Henley reacted to the results, the lights went out. After images of Zaria's vignettes were shown, the former Delta then briefly appeared at the entranceway as the show quickly cut out. Earlier in the show, the latest vignette featuring the Australian star aired, this time revealing her new name, Zaria. The Halloween Havoc logo was also seen, indicating she'll be making an appearance on Sunday. Zaria is best known for her appearances in Melbourne City Wrestling and Riot City Wrestling. She is a former MCW Women's Champion and has held both the RCW and RCW Women's titles. Adam Cole and Britt Baker are no longer together. The former couple had been in a relationship for 7 years after meeting on Bumble in 2017. However, during an interview with SI.com, Adam Cole stated that they have gone their separate ways but remain friends. Adam Cole said, "We are no longer a couple, but when I say that, we both still love each other and are still friends and still so supportive of each other. That could not be more true." While it's not clear when the couple's relationship ended, Adam Cole sparked rumors of it this summer when he mentioned on a video game stream that he would be moving back to his home state of Pennsylvania alone. Adam Cole continued to say, "I think the world of Britt. I want her to be as happy and successful as humanly possible, and I know she feels the exact same way about me. We did decide to go our separate ways, but that doesn't mean that she will not be an incredibly important part of my life. Britt is absolutely one of my best friends. She's someone that I love dearly and will always love dearly, and there is no ill will between me and her whatsoever." Adam Cole and Britt Baker's relationship was featured in AEW All Access, the company's backstage reality series that aired last year. He also said, "I don't want anyone to ever think that me and Britt dislike each other. I think it's possible in situations for people who are in relationships to kind of go their separate ways, but still care about one another. The last thing I would want is for fans to pick sides or anything like that." Moving on to our next story, Samantha Irvin's music career influenced her decision to leave WWE. Irvin, who had been with the company since 2021, announced her departure before Monday's episode of Raw in Philadelphia. Lilian Garcia returned and replaced her as a ring announcer on this show. Our Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez discussed her decision to leave WWE on Wrestling Observer Radio, noting that she is looking to focus more on her music and could not come to terms with WWE on outside projects. Dave Meltzer also said that Samantha had been thinking about this for about a year, mentioning her career as a singer and wanting to be more involved with her music. Dave said it's just something she's been talking about for a long time and finally pulled the trigger on it. Samantha also posted on X on Tuesday clarifying that she'd given the company notice that she was leaving months ago. Not long after the news broke, Samantha's fiancé, AEW's Ricochet, noted on social media that she was not headed to AEW. With that being said, Lilian Garcia is back on Raw. Prior to the opening match on Monday, Joe Tessitore mentioned the news that Samantha was moving on from WWE. He then welcomed Garcia, who introduced the first match between the New Day and the Authors of Pain. Lilian Garcia has been a longtime ring announcer for WWE starting back in the fall of 1999, after briefly leaving in 2009. She returned in 2012 and continued until 2016 when she left the company once again. Earlier this year, she made a surprise appearance on an episode of Raw in South Carolina, sharing a moment with Samantha before guest announcing a match between Kofi Kingston and Gunther. When Samantha made her announcement that she was leaving, she did thank multiple people, including the likes of Triple H, Road Dogg, and Mark Henry. While she didn't reveal where she was going, she told fans to stay tuned. That's a wrap for this episode of The Latest. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to F4W Online, and I'll catch you on the next one.